Chapisha for a higher juicy news. We ma ubibia akwaba had the latest hot nkwa era me bremo. Enuti so nya subscribe to channel dia bomodi as obe subscribe. The way I say obe click a subscribe button no. Na wabele notification no. We understand video fufuru bi be upload no. When the first person sa ebeka a sa video afi we na like video no. Give us a thumbs up. Na fe shema wo fufuro na wenye bi hwe na wo hu ensem ekoso e wo Ghana me mu hanom afe ye hwe ye ensem abeto ye no so yenti ye sa report ya ababeto dwa sansem mu yenti
about the oral investigations. Now, in respect of oral, significant work is going on in relation to the investigations of the allegations of looting of state resources contained in the oral report submitted to me a few weeks ago. In view of the fact that these matters are still under investigation, I will not go into the details as I have done with, the case of Eduboahin. But I can confirm that investigations will conclude in the National Service and SkyTrain scandals by the middle of April for prosecutions to begin. In the National Service scandal, 8 suspects have been interrogated, and a good number of them have started singing. They've, they are cooperating with our they've started singing, literally. Yeah? So we will give you details of their songs at the appropriate time. In view of the fact that, So, indeed, we now have evidence of payments that were made into the accounts of the top executives of the National Service by vendors, private vendors, and staff of the scheme. We also have evidence that in November 2024, and listen to this carefully, the CEO of the National Service Scheme and others paid a Ghanaian MP to kill the story in the media and to defend them. Now, this is a developing story, and more will come out very soon. In respect of SkyTrain, we can confirm that the 2 million was paid at the request of the chairman of the board of directors of the Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund, that is GIIF, Prof. Ameyaw and then and then the CEO, Mr. Solomon Asamoah, who is currently hiding in Senegal. We tracked him first and noticed that he was in South Africa. So he left Ghana somewhere around February 2nd, the 2nd of February, to South Africa. So we were monitoring him in South Africa. And then he left South Africa and is now in Senegal. When we contacted him, he told us that he will not come to Ghana until I think, he didn't say April, 3 months from now. Okay, so he's giving us 3 months to come to Ghana, very much like Ken Oforiatta, right? It reminds me of Ken Oforiatta. So he says he will come to Ghana in 3 months. So we are patiently waiting for him. If he wants to be tried in absentia, that is his choice to make. But we have the prosecutorial authority to, prosecute him in absentia. And of course, the person who acted with him to transfer that money, the Prof. Ameyaw is in the country. So if there is going to be delay, we'll start the prosecution with him being a suspect who is being tried in absentia. So on the SkyTrain, we noticed that there was no board approval for a transaction, and the conditions precedent to disbursement had not been met. The other board members and our review of the minutes of the board of directors have confirmed this fact. So we requested for all the minutes, of the board of directors within the period that this transaction occurred. And our perusal of the minutes show quite clearly that there was no board approval. Also, the interrogation has revealed, that the other board members said that they did not have knowledge of this transaction. In fact, there was one of the minutes where one of the members questioned why the GIF was in a hurry to make payment for this transaction, and no, answer of any significance was given to him by the two persons who, schemed and transferred $2 million of taxpayers' money to a Mauritius company. In fact, we tracked the company to Mauritius, and a lawyer in Mauritius has confirmed to us that it is non-existent. But that's also, a developing story. Now, the money, you see, if you are buying shares in a company, okay, you are buying shares in a company, that's your equity contribution to that company. The money is supposed to be paid into the share account, the shares account of that company. But the money was given to Africa Investment Holdings, okay? And when, it was paid, we noticed that Africa Investment Holdings was paid 100,000 United States of American dollars as the GIF's contribution to equity. And then listen to this, 1.9 million was paid to Africa Investment Holdings as share premium. Now, when you are paying for share premium, for those of you who are accountants and lawyers, well-versed in corporate law, share premium is not paid for nothing. It is paid for the performance of the company or the growth of the company and so on and so forth. So the company must have a certain track record, okay? But maybe they know something that I do not know. And in the course of investigation, we may know why. Maybe there is some other principle for paying a share premium, to a company, an SPV that you just incorporated, all right? And I believe that the accountants will confirm that with share premium, it's easy for the directors to take the money than when it is the share, when the money is in the actual share account. So it can tell you that this was done with some criminal enterprise, in mind. But again, I'm not prejudging anything. If we come across evidence, okay, that shows that they are innocent, I will not go to court. I told this country that I will not take anybody to court unless I am convinced that there is evidence to prove the guilt of the person beyond reasonable doubt. And as I've laid out, you can tell from what we have done. And I must thank the Economic and Organized Crime Office, the director, and especially the deputy director in charge of operations, Monacha. He led operations. He led the operations. And on this, we met, got briefings, himself, myself, and my deputy, and the team. We got briefings. We didn't talk about it. So I want to let you people know that when I'm investigating something, I will not give media interviews, okay? Because when you grant media interviews on investigations that are unfolding, all right, unless you have grasped the evidence like I now have on SkyTrain and, SkyTrain and then the National Service Scheme, okay? Those significant progress has been made. And I believe that if I took those two, under investigation, so we are not going to be talking about them. So in conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, when His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, the President of the Republic, observed that the entire country was a crime scene, he knew what he was talking about. Some people bashed him for it, but the President knows because I brief him on a constant and a regular basis on what is happening with respect to our investigations. We are working diligently on several has done. It's like a thriller in Manila. Please brace yourself for a rumble in the jungle in the next few weeks. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
From the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, in not too distant weeks gone, the Deputy Attorney General answered a question, and it appears to me that the AG is under a certain pressure to go to court on some of the cases you have gathered so far, either from oral or from the National Service. Is it the case that you're under pressure?
All right, one question per journalist, please.
My name is Kweku Asante from Joy FM and Joy News. This one on Mr. Dubois and the wife and the other suspect. You talked about some bail conditions. We want to know specifically, are they still in detention? Have they met those bail conditions and all that? And if you can briefly provide some updates on what has been referred in some sections of the media as a raid on the former Bank of Ghana's governor's residence, and what led to that. We understand your office did authorize that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. My name is John Amengsa. I report for FMNewsOnline.com. Flowing from what Joel has said, it seems the minority is not too happy with the situation regarding what is going on today. As of this moment, they also addressed the media, accusing the national security even of stealing, allegedly, from the former governor's house. And may I know, are you doing something unconstitutional regarding investigation and invading houses of former appointees?
Good morning. My name is Mawina with TV3. With respect to Mr. Dubois, you mentioned accounts belonging to him and other companies. I want to find out if there's been you've officially applied for freezing orders to those banks to ensure that the coffers are not emptied, even though you've served a warning. And secondly, the Deputy Attorney General has mentioned, amongst many other things, that some members of Parliament are seeking to abuse immunity offered them while making defamatory comments in the presence of Parliament, and suggested there was going to be a cure of some form for it. What is that cure, if we may ask?
All right, thank you very much. So the Attorney General will proceed to answer these set of questions, after which we'll come back for a final round.
Yeah, thank you very much. On the first issue of whether I am under pressure to go to court, you would understand that the issue of accountability and oral, that is Operation Recover or Loot, was a central plank of His Excellency's campaign. In fact, the National Democratic Congress campaigned seriously on the issue of accountability. Ghanaians bought into that campaign and other issues that we addressed during the campaign, and that is why they voted for us to hold those who have abused public office accountable. So yes, I'm under pressure, but I'm under pressure not from political quarters, but from ordinary Ghanaians. Despite my busy schedule, I find time to go to social media, and I see what Ghanaians want us to do. They are in a hurry to know what we are doing about holding people who have looted state resources accountable. Yes, sometimes you may have some of your colleagues saying that things are not going as quickly as we wanted. But I have said that I will not rush to court on any matter. I will not. And the president knows that, and he accepts that. So yes, the pressure is coming, but you see, it was under that pressure that together with EOCO, we investigated Dubois. You see how diligent the work has been. You see the evidence we have laid out, okay? If you're under pressure, you go to court, and then you now come back to look for evidence, like some other Attorney General did in the past, and subsequently was calling a witness to help the witness help him, make out his case. All right, so I won't do that at all. I would, if I don't have the kind of evidence that I have on Dubois, I will not go to court. So yes, the pressure is there, but I'm soaking in the pressure together with my Deputy Attorney General and some of the staff. We are soaking in the pressure. Now, with respect to the bail conditions, yes, we gave them bail conditions. I think all in all, it's about 160 million. Yes, about 160 million Ghana cedis bail with sureties to be justified. So they brought some properties belonging to some of their friends and family. We are verifying the titles of those properties and to see if we will accept them in order to grant the bail. Now, with respect to Dubois, I got a briefing last night, and I'm thinking that he should continue to stay in detention. If we are granting the wife and the other suspects bail, he should continue to stay in detention because of what has come to my knowledge. So I have advised EOCO to vary the bail terms or release him and rearrest him. And then we will now go to court in order to meet the 48-hour constitutional threshold, maybe likely today. On the raids, on so-called raids, you see, the MPP is a unique group of individuals. In 2017, they were arresting, that's what they said. They were arresting former appointees. Okay? So I told you here that policemen came to my house with guns. If that is not okay. Sorry, the bail amount is 260 million, not 160. So he just, DAG just came to correct me on that. It's 260 million. So they came to my house in July of 2017 with guns. I didn't call a press conference to say that this was a raid. They showed me a warrant that they were conducting investigations into a transaction in respect of which I had written a legal opinion. That is our married deal. And they came to my house, okay, with guns. Can you go back to the internet to check if I said that this was a raid on my house? So how come that a search of the governor's house, based upon credible intelligence that we received, and I was the one who applied for the warrants and got them issued by the High Court for the searches to be conducted? Why is that a raid? Are some people now above the law that we cannot conduct a legally sanctioned, search, constitutionally sanctioned test, a search in their houses? Maybe they are above the law. Okay, but no one is above the law in this country. We are all subject to the Constitution. And in terms of the Constitution, under Article 18, all right, there are limits to what you can do by saying that you cannot, your house should not be searched. So we obtain warrants, and if the media wants, I can make those warrants available. Okay, so there was no raid on his house, and there was nothing illegal or unconstitutional about what we did. But they are deciding to bastardize me and to bastardize the operatives of the national security by even saying that during the raid, which for me wasn't a raid, it was a constitutionally sanctioned search, they stole 10,000 Ghana cedis. All right? Now, what an insult. Okay? And that is what my Deputy Attorney General was referring to when he said that, the constitutional immunity granted to MPs does not mean that they should abuse that immunity and then, defame individuals or officials who are conducting normal business, normal public business, all right? And ladies and gentlemen of the media, let me tell you, we have a recording of Addison and what he said about the raid. So if Afenyo Markin, the Honorable Minority Leader, is daring me, we'll make that recording available. So he should desist from maligning law enforcement officers and myself for the work that we are doing. He should also take cognizance of the fact that I am the leader of the bar, and I will act in the best interest of the ethics of the profession. Everyone at the bar knows me for that. So I won't do anything unethical, and I have advised both EOCO and national security about staying within the bounds of the law. in conducting investigations. So he should not abuse his parliamentary immunity by libeling or defaming public officials who are conducting normal, legally sanctioned public business. Now, with respect to freezing orders, we are notifying all the banks today. You see, the gentleman who asked about the freezing orders. Note that because of the way this gentleman, the suspect, is very highly networked, if a letter had gone out before today to any bank, there would have been swift movement of money, and there would have been other suspects would have been alerted to the fact that we are investigating them. So yes, we obtained all the accounts. For purposes of our investigation, officially, and for purposes of prosecution, we will now obtain what we are taking to court by writing to each of the banks to give us that for our prosecution.
The investigative authorities, the NIB, the CID, the so-called Yoko and so on, all of them ought to operate according to law. It's a very firm belief that I have. Even when they are dealing with murderers, even murderers have rights. Murderers, those who commit murder, have rights. And we cannot violate those rights simply because they are murderers and so on. We should understand that very clearly. So today, I asked myself, why was Henry Addison's house?
Ernest.
Is it Ernest?
Ernest Addison.
Well, forgive me, Massa. There are so many names in the world, sometimes you can't get all of them right.
That's one.
Why was Ernest Addison's house searched, raided? I don't know what words to use. I don't know. Do you know?
No.
Senator, do you know? I don't know. All the explanations that have been given and so on doesn't tell us anything about how and why the house was searched. You understand? So on what basis do I make a judgment? Master, on what basis do I make a judgment as to whether what happened was right or wrong, lawful or unlawful? We don't know anything. We are told that when they went to his house, and this is Afenyo Markin. Now Afenyo Markin, I think sometimes he talks too much. He's so much in a hurry to talk that sometimes he leaves his brain behind. You understand? There's this gentleman who is talking, and what is he telling us? That when they went there were 3 official cars in the house. Okay? And that those 3 official cars were driven away, and later his drivers went and picked the official cars and so on. I'm asking myself, retired governor, what are 3 official cars doing in his house? He's not entitled to any official car. If he retires with the vehicle, it becomes his personal property. It is no longer an official vehicle. So if there are 3 official cars in his house, then something was wrong. But this information is coming from Afenyo Markin. Afenyo Markin. I can't believe it. 3 official cars. What were they doing in the former governor's house? Official cars. 3. Not 1, not 2. 3. Why? It doesn't end there. We are told that there were empty money boxes in the house. What does it mean? First of all, what is a money box? You know, children, they keep these small boxes of this size. Susu box, thank you. And they keep coins inside and so on. That's a money box, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
So if they found these types of money boxes in his house, what is the problem? Did they find huge, gigantic money boxes in his house which carry 2 billion? And if they did find huge, gigantic boxes in his house which carry 2 billion, what is the inference? That some monies were carried from the central bank to his house and emptied, and the boxes left behind. Is that the inference? And if that is the inference, why are we not being told? What kind of boxes did they find in his house beyond them being money boxes? What kind of boxes? And how are those boxes related to the search on his house? Did they go to his house because of those money boxes? Or they accidentally found those money boxes and so on? I don't know what to make of this. I simply don't know what to make of this. Now listen, in the campaign for the 2024 elections, President Mahama made a bold promise to the people of Ghana. He said that if he was elected, those who have stolen our monies will be made to cough the monies out. One. They will be punished for stealing the money and so on. And the people of Ghana accepted this and voted for him. So part of his mandate is to recover what they call the loot. Part of his mandate is to punish those who looted. Nobody can quarrel with that. You understand what I'm saying? Nobody can quarrel with that. But then everybody expects that some important principles of law should be upheld. And one of the most important principles of law is that every and anybody must be presumed to be innocent until convicted by not just a court, but a competent court. You understand what I mean? And this is a principle all of us must respect. This is a principle all of us must uphold. Okay? So it is important that even those who are suspected of having committed crime should be made to enjoy their full rights as citizens until convicted by a competent court. It's an important principle that we cannot play with at all. You understand? Now, for me, I must say that one of the texters, Dennis Akwete, made a point. And Dennis, I salute you. You understand? I fully agree with you. Sometimes the aesthetics of cases become more important than the substance. You understand? And at the center of all of these so-called raids, searches, and so on, is this personality called dapaah. I have nothing against dapaah. He may be doing his work as assigned to him by his superiors and so on. You understand? But we cannot forget that just a few months ago, he was in court being tried. And we remember the tape recordings and all of those things and so on. All of those things color his actions today. You can't take those things out. So sometimes it is so easy for people to assume that this is vengeance, payback time. It may not be the case. It may not be the case, but I'm talking about the aesthetics. So therefore, I agree with Dennis Akwete that if things must be done and so on, why must it be done under the leadership of what is his name? dapaah. Why? Somebody must explain. Because it seems to me that they are not paying attention to the aesthetics. They are not. Nobody is paying attention to the aesthetics. But the aesthetics are as important and valuable as substance in these matters. You understand? So that's part of the problem. Now, I'm sitting back and I'm wondering, I'm really wondering, Sana, Bank of Ghana, You say his name is Anas Aremeyaw.
Yes.
If any government, any serious prosecution authority wants to investigate Anas Aremeyaw and prosecute him, do you have to search his house? Tell me, do you have to search his house?
No.
Because what we were told, and I'm not saying it, what we were told was that he illegally printed currency. Illegally printed currency. Would the evidence for that be found in his house?
No. No, not at all.
We were told that he took certain actions which led to substantial financial loss to the state because it was without parliamentary approval. Is the evidence for that available in his house?
No.
So think back. All the things that were said about Anas Aremeyaw, you think he cannot be prosecuted without going to his house? So this going to his house, what was it meant to find? I don't know. Maybe they have answers, but I don't know. Nobody knows. The only people who know may be in national security. You understand? Maybe in the Attorney General's office and so on. I wish that these investigations be carried out in a most transparent manner. In a manner which does not give the targets of investigations and so on some high moral grounds, to turn around and to do some of the things that we are hearing and seeing today. Let these investigations be based on law. Let the rights of the accused be respected. And let convictions take place and nobody would have anything to do with that. You understand? Now, look, NPP. Everybody knows what is happening in the NPP today. The leading member of the party is here. Former member of parliament is here. Everybody knows what is happening in the NPP. Okay. If the NPP actually thinks that the way forward is what Afenyo Markin is doing, God bless them. If the NPP really thinks that the way forward lies in numerous press conferences of no substance, God bless them. Because what is happening in the NPP is a really substantial movement leading to the establishment of the true values of the party. It's the true values of the party which is in contention. You understand? And until that is resolved, this noise making, sometimes childish in the extreme, would not help anybody.
Yo, it for winning and someone about beto yepuno so Mikao say so when you subscribe to channel idea bomodi say obe subscribe. Now I like video to give us a thumbs up, nafi share ma wo fufro so na we be here now and somewhere koso ewo Ghana memoir. Also with me otchere wadwen afa yes some we nyira ho ewo comment box ni mu mobeti nkabio in my next video.
Thanks for watching. Like and share the video. You can also drop your comment. Please don't forget to subscribe. Click on the bell to turn on the notification.